let's talk about that verse in the Bible and what it's really talking about. Okay, because a lot of people, I know a lot of Christians, and of course, I'm a spiritual Christian. There's a little difference there, but yeah, I know a lot of Christians, and they misinterpret what they read at the esoteric level. So, what are we talking about, esoteric level? Well, at the base of everything. Okay, so esoteric knowledge is the hidden knowledge. Okay, because out here for the general populace, they tell you one thing. Back here for the people in the know, or the esoteric versus the exoteric, it's a different story. Okay, now it's a different story because it has a different meaning. So, what does this mean? Well, the verse is, "For unto everyone that hath shall be given, and he shall have abundance. But from him that hath not shall be taken away even that which he hath." That's the verse in the Bible. Okay, Matthew 25:29. What's it really talking about? It's talking about your subconscious programming. Okay? For he that hath shall be given more. Okay, so if you have, right, you'll be given more, right? Based upon what? Based upon your beliefs, your subconscious beliefs. That's what attracts everything into your world. Okay, so for everyone that hath, right? And how do you have to have in the first place? You There's desire, right? But if you look at the tree, the roots of the tree is your subconscious programming. Okay, now the trunk of your tree is your paradigm, or the way you see the world based upon how you believe. And your actions at the top of the tree, your actions, your habits, those are the things that are the result of the roots, okay, the beliefs, and then your paradigm, how you understand the world. So it looks like a very cruel verse in the Bible, you know, like, "For everyone that hath, he shall be given more." But then the people that, you know, don't have, it should be taken away. But this is what it's really saying. It's saying that when you're subconscious, there's only the conscious, subconscious, and superconscious. That's all there is. So at the conscious level, that's where you get the million thoughts a day. The predominant thoughts, or the things you think about most, go into your subconscious. What happens then? Well, it becomes a belief. You believe these things. Okay, so what is that? It could be simple. It could be simple, like, I always use the cookie scenario, right? So you try a cookie. Wow, that's a good cookie. Now maybe I'll have one more. Now you do another cookie, right? Pretty soon it's like, hey, where do they sell these cookies? This is awesome. This is an awesome cookie, right? Where do they sell this? Oh, Costco. Okay, now you're at Costco buying a bag of cookies. Okay, you have a habit. A habit doesn't have to be something extreme. Human beings form habits very, very quickly and very, very easily. It's easy to form good habits. It really is. You have to be consistent, right? Good morning, Jay. You have to be consistent, or, you know, what I call regular, okay? Regular with something means consistent, right? Consistency. So doing it every day. Doing it every day. Writing your sentence every day. How long does that take? Well, you take a pen, okay? "I am so happy and grateful now that I am confident." If you're suffering from overthinking, now read it out loud. Speak it into existence. And the reason for this is the subconscious responds to audio. Okay. The first thing, the very highest form of anything subconscious, is visual. Okay. So if you stand in front of your mirror and you tell yourself what you want, what you expect out of yourself. Okay, I know you're gonna feel crazy. I know it's a crazy feeling, right? Okay, but when you do that, you're imprinting your subconscious. Okay, don't you want a better life? Don't you want to feel better? Okay, feeling better is just a result of thoughts. Being tormented, living in hell. This is the prison. This is where you live in hell every day, all day. Okay. Now, the worst part about that is that you spend your time worrying. You spend your time being tormented. You only have so much time. We all only have so much time. I'm going to be topsoil pretty soon. Okay. We're all going to eventually be topsoil. Okay. We're all going to not be here one day. Some of us will be lucky and hang out longer. Some of us won't. But why spend your time in here being tormented when you could spend your time in here being free? Good morning, Karen. Good morning. Share the live, share with your friends. So why would you choose that? You can choose abundance. You can live in abundance. When I was sleeping on a sidewalk in 1980, I was sleeping on a sidewalk, right? I wasn't angry with God. I was on an adventure. I had fun, right? I wanted to see how it was. And I experienced it. Would I do it again? If I had to, sure. But I know how to do it. And I also know that everything came back. Everything came back. There were several times in my life where I threw everything away. I said, nope, gone, done. I'm done with that. And what happened? It came back. Why? How did it come back? Why did it come back? It came back because of my core beliefs. Okay? So you attract who you are in addition to what you want. If you want something, just keep writing it. Keep writing it. Look at pictures of it. Program it into your subconscious. It will manifest in the world. It's not magic. It's not like you wish for a new car and then tomorrow it's in the driveway. It doesn't work like that. Let me give you an idea. Okay, so if you want a new car, okay, you start writing. I am so happy and grateful now that I have my new blue BMW 4-door, whatever, 350i, whatever it is, I don't know. But that kind of thing, right? Now you write that and you keep writing that. Now, your subconscious takes instruction. Your subconscious is not a judge. It cannot distinguish from fantasy, from reality, none of that. Your subconscious just knows what you tell it to do. And your subconscious will go, oh, well, you want that car? Well, maybe you need some side money. Maybe you need another job. Maybe you could do this, that, and the other thing. Okay. So I had a client. I was teaching her daughter, and she was a single mom. And happy Mother's Day, ladies. And she was a single mom. And she had a van that was breaking down all the time. I had her write the affirmation. Long story short, 2 months later, one of her best friends goes, you know what, you can have my van. We have to leave. My husband got his orders. He's in the military. He got his orders. But you can just do the paperwork and we'll give you the van. The van had like 10 or 11,000 miles on it. You think she was sad? She was ecstatic, right? And I showed her how to do this. And all she was doing is affirmation. She was writing and speaking it, writing and speaking, writing and speaking it. And the other thing I told her was, you're a smart girl. You need to change your environment, right? Because here's the thing about environment, okay? There's that old adage that says, show me your 5 closest friends and I'll tell you who you are. And the reason is because whatever environment we're in, we start being chameleons to the environment. Okay? You start hanging with people, you start saying what they say, you start doing what they do, you start sharing the same kind of jokes, you guys, like that, right? And they call it gelling. You gel. Human beings can gel. Okay? Now, all of this happens on the energetic level. You don't really feel it at the energetic level, okay? But energy joins. Energy joins. Frequency joins, okay? So this is somebody over here. This is you. Eventually, you gravitate, and you join. Okay? Now, that's not a bad thing at all, okay? It could be a very good thing. Okay, so it's not necessarily a bad thing. But what I'm telling you is when you're in a bad environment, guess what you pick up? You pick up bad habits. When you're around people that are lazy, you become lazy. If you're around people that are industrious, people that want to go out and work, people that are, you know, aggressively seeking better, they're achieving, they're high achievers, or let's say, just, for the sake of discussion, just they achieve a lot. You're going to become like that because they will influence you. And that's why parents have this issue about their kids hanging out with certain people because they know this. Can you change this? Yeah. I have a 17-year-old client that I saw yesterday, and he's doing good. And now that I'm approaching him in this manner with these things, he's beginning to see the light. Okay? Sometimes it's hard to see the light when people are coming down on you. Sometimes it's hard to see the light when you want to do something your way and you can't do it your way because, oh yeah, you have parents and you're young, you're a teenager. But I know how to talk to teenagers. I can speak teenager. I've been doing it for 36 years. I've been working with teens for 36 years now. And the thing about it, right, is like when parents, bring me their kids, they're always like 12, 13, 12, 13. This one I have at 17 because this one was this one was a kind of harder case, I want to say, only because, they tried everything, literally everything. And then there was me. And then I got involved, and now we're making progress. But in order to make progress with children, in order to make progress with human beings, you have to demonstrate reality. You have to demonstrate that these things are real. Okay, you have to demonstrate that, okay, write this sentence and do it for 2 weeks. You're going to feel a shift. Now, do it for 63 days, and you will make it a habit. You will install a brand new habit. So in my teaching effort, right, I teach these things. And I have people all the time, trying to explain the religious part of stuff to me, like Matthew 25:29, what we started out discussing. Okay, I'll read it again. For unto every one that hath shall be given, and he shall have abundance. Okay? But from him that hath not shall be taken away even that which he hath. Like everything. What does that mean? That means in your subconscious mind, if you're programmed for abundance, or if you're programmed for positivity, you keep receiving. The person who is programmed for negativity, they will keep losing, and it will keep going. It'll keep going like that. Why? Because it's in their subconscious. These things are real. These are real things. Your subconscious is a thing. There's only the conscious, subconscious, and superconscious. That's it. Whatever you choose to believe will be. But you have to believe it. I asked some people concerning money. I said, oh, do you like money? Oh, yeah, I love money. I love money. And then upon further inspection, or let's say upon, further exploratory work, I find out, oh, he actually believes that, money doesn't grow on trees. Interesting. That's lack. Whenever you hear somebody say, I can't afford that, money doesn't grow on trees or something like that, right? That kind of thing. What they're really doing is expressing lack. They're expressing lack. They're expressing need. They're expressing, I don't have. When you express, I don't have, you start believing I don't have. And when you believe I don't have, you start not having. It's that simple. So change your speech first. Change the way you talk about it. Okay, it's the easiest way to do. So with my clients are high-powered professionals. My clients are what I call them that because they have great responsibilities. My CEO that I teach, I have attorneys, doctors, those kinds of people that have very, very, let's say, intense work schedules. Okay, they're very busy people. And these people are really good at what they're good at. It's other things that I supplement them with or that I offer to them. Affirmations, meditation, vocalization, and visualization can change your life in a matter of weeks. In 2 weeks, you start feeling the shift. In 63 days, okay, 2 months, significant shift. Thank you, Karen. Okay, so when you begin to shift, you must be consistent. Okay, so it's not enough. Here, I'll show you. It's not enough to, say, oh, okay, I put this new belief in my brain, in my subconscious, and then now I don't need to do it anymore. No, you need to do it. This is an exercise. These are affirmations. Okay, this is an exercise. You have to exercise your subconscious. It's like a muscle. If you don't exercise it, this is my new one. I just started on this one. Okay, But if you don't exercise your subconscious, let's say it another way. If you don't develop your subconscious, then what? Then you don't get the optimum results. When I manifest things, I can manifest things in a matter of weeks, sometimes a couple of months. But I do each of the 4 pillars. Affirmations, okay, I write about it. Meditation, okay. I daydream about it. I put it in my mind. It's fresh in my mind. And when I meditate, I ask about whatever it is that I want. Ask and ye shall receive. It's a real thing. There's a reason why holy books say that. It's not just the Bible. It's in the Bhagavad Gita. It's in the Talmud. It's the way human beings are designed. Okay, this is how you were built, how you were designed at the divine level, at the spiritual level. This is your body. You're not your body and you're not your name. You're that energy that lives in here. You want to call it a spirit? Okay, let's call it a spirit. You're the spirit that works, that lives and works in here. And the reason I say work is because it does work. It works. It brings you everything. So it's important to focus on the right things, because when you focus on the right things, that's what you get. What do we do as humans? We go back and forth, windshield wiper, back and forth. Okay, over here, good thoughts, over here, bad thoughts, good, bad, good, bad, good, bad, like that. The good news is that you only have to be 51% positive. Okay, if this is halfway, this is good, this is bad, 51% right here, now you have the majority. The majority is going to be good. The majority is going to be abundant. The majority is going to be positive. The majority will serve you. Now, the majority of your life is positive. You didn't have to get crazy. You didn't have to go 80%. You didn't have to go 95%. No such thing. We're humans. Okay, in the Christian Bible, it says we're all sinners. Okay, it just means we're human. Okay, we make mistakes. When you make a mistake, wipe it off the chalkboard. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. Hawaiian ho'oponopono, very easy. But if you approach life with a white-knuckled grip like this, right? You approach life really hard like this, like you're pushing, you're demanding, you're gonna put it over here, you're gonna pull it over there. Okay, if you're living your life like that and you make a mistake, guess what happens? An equal opposite reaction. Newton's third law. But if you just approach life like, oh, okay, I'll go try this. Oh, it doesn't work. I'm sorry. Okay, over here. Let's try over here. Okay, this works. Okay, continue. I'm like, oh, made a mistake. Oh, okay, back over here. You see? It's easy like that. Don't take life so serious. Every time I see someone taking life so serious, right? Like, no, this is serious. We gotta be serious. I'm like, okay, good luck with that. So if you're living that kind of serious life, you're going to suffer serious consequences. If you live a happy-go-lucky, kind of carefree existence, when you have a consequence, it will be like that. Okay, thank you, Karen. You can't hear me? Can you hear me now, Rana? As far as I know, our audio is working. Jay, can you hear us? Okay, okay, good, good. Oh, thank you, Karen. Okay, good. So it's important to understand that when you read these things in the Bible, okay, it's talking about your subconscious. The Bible's talking about you in here. Okay, the Bible is like an owner's manual, and there are many different manuals. You can follow many different manuals, but they all lead to the same thing. There's only the conscious, subconscious, and superconscious. Now, you may want to serve this God or that God or whatever you have in your mind, in your imagination. I'm not saying God is imagined. God is very real, but everyone has their own way of going about it. Everybody has their own beliefs. I'm not here to tell you what you do, what you should believe or what you shouldn't believe. But what I'm telling you is that everything spiritual is this energy in here. And this energy is connected at the energetic level, at the frequency level. How do you tune a human being? You tune them through their voice. That's what I've been doing for 36 years. And it works. Works like a charm. Different person. In 3 to 4 months. Different people. And the reason I'm doing this live is to let you know, because you're not one of my clients. Because my clients are, I'm expensive. My clients are professionals, okay, and they pay a lot to see me, and they make it part of their budget, okay. But they do it because they get results. They do it because they become better people. They do it because they're high performance professionals. And at that level, when you're moving so quickly, when you're making decisions that affect a lot of people, you have to make decisions in flow state. You don't make decisions under stress. You make decisions under flow state. Why? Because when you do that, everything is pono. Everything comes together. So for you people on TikTok, pono is a Hawaiian word. Okay, it means when things are as they should be. Okay, because then you can unfold. Then your life path will unfold, or your decisions that affect others will unfold. My 17-year-old yesterday, for the first time, started asking me specific questions about these things. And I answered every single one of his questions, and he was happy because he had an understanding. Because there's a lot of stuff out there. There's a lot of stuff out there. Oh, okay, well, do this, do that. And, this is not witchcraft. This is not voodoo. This is human. This is here, human. Okay, it has nothing to do with demons bringing you things. It has nothing to do with any of that. But when my teenagers start asking questions, they're very, very direct and fundamental questions, right? And when they start asking me questions, I know we're on the right track. I have a 14-year-old asking questions, significant questions. Questions that he wants answered that his parents cannot answer. And the important thing with teenagers, if you have a teenager, if it's, it's Mother's Day today, right? Mothers with teenagers, okay? It's important to break things down for them. In the old days, we just, said, well, you just do what I do. You just do what I say. And then don't do what I do. You do what I say. And then don't ask questions. Okay? That doesn't work. That just leaves more unanswered questions. Okay? So what you need to do is you need to explain. You need to break it down. If you can't break it down, then go find some videos to break it down and give them videos. but you need to expose them to these concepts and these ideas because this is how the human being works. There's esoteric knowledge and exoteric knowledge. Exo, exterior, okay? Esoteric, inner knowledge, or hidden knowledge. When you hear the term occult knowledge, it doesn't mean occult like a religious cult. It doesn't mean that. It means hidden. Occult means hidden. So there's a bunch of knowledge that they put out here for the general public, and then there's the knowledge that they're privy to back here. And these two sets of understandings, these two levels of understanding are different. They'll show this stuff on TV. They'll show this stuff in the movies, but they're not going to show you the inner workings back here. The only people who find that are the people who seek. That's why the Bible says, seek and ye shall find. If you don't seek, you're going to only see the superficial nonsense out here that's for the masses, because the masses are always manipulated. Always manipulate the masses. Okay, it's like a puppeteer, whole bunch of puppets just doing what they want, and they direct things with all kinds of stuff. It's not just knowledge. It's things that they want to sway your thinking. So it's things that will sway your thinking. It's things that will help you believe in the way that they want, without question, no questions. So ask questions, always ask questions. If you have questions, put them in the manifested. Very good, Karen. Very good, Karen. Pono is important. Pono is very important. So it's Mother's Day. Mothers are very important. Okay, mothers are very important. Have you ever seen someone who was raised just by their father? Have you ever seen somebody like that? I knew people who were just raised by their dad. You know, they were very different from the children that were nurtured. Women are emotional beings for a reason, okay? And it takes two of them. It takes both. But in this day and age, sometimes that's rare, right? Sometimes you don't always see that. You don't always have that. But when you have that balance, when you have the male-female balance, you have a balanced individual, you have a balanced child, you have a balanced grandchild. Too much of anything is not good. But in your subconscious, okay, in your subconscious, you have to install these beliefs. Now, you can only install maybe 15, 20%. That's about it. That's about all you can do. Everything else is from birth to 7 years old. That's your fundamental paradigm. That's your principal paradigm. But you can tweak it. It doesn't take very much. It doesn't take very much to adjust that, to tweak that, to install a few core beliefs that will change the course of your life. It will just take your life like that. Boom. Most people are too afraid to do that because they don't know what's going to happen. And humans are very, very comfortable where they are. We're very comfortable. Okay, I know I am. I'm very comfortable where I am. So, sometimes I don't like to get out of the box. And I have to force myself. I have to say, no, we're going to get out of the box. But before I even go about that, I write it down. I speak it. I visualize it. I meditate on it. I pray on it. And then it just eases in. It just eases into the process. You can't fight your way to new beliefs. You can't force yourself. Because then, remember the tree? So, subconscious is your beliefs, what you believe, your paradigm, how you see the world based upon what you believe. The fruits of the tree are your actions. Okay? So, you can change these actions any day. You can change these actions, but if you don't change the bottom, if you don't change the trunk of the tree, how you see the world, if you don't change your core beliefs, then what happens? Well, then you're just doing actions, random actions. That's the person that, goes on a diet. I'm only going to eat salad now, just salad, 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 right? No, I've been there. I've been there. I'm still there. I tweak my diet all the time. All the time. But here's the thing, right? We can just do it up here as actions. And then what happens? Then you taste that first slice of bread, and then you go, well, that's okay. It's just one slice, and then pretty soon it's just two slices of bread, and this week I only had two sandwiches, and pretty soon you're right back where you started. Why? You're right back where you started because you just changed the actions. You didn't change the beliefs. You didn't change the roots. Okay? And in holy books, they say, you shall know them by their fruits. You shall know them by what they do. And this is why people look you up online when they meet you. They put your name in a browser and they go look, let's see who this guy is, or who the heck is this guy, or girl, or lady, or whatever, woman, right? Who is this person? And then they go and look, and sometimes I don't do this with my clients until well into getting to know them. I have this one attorney client that I was just blown away by her credentials. And I had worked with her for like 4 or 5 months. And then I thought, you know what? I'm going to look her up on LinkedIn. And I looked her up on LinkedIn, and I'm like, whoa, I didn't even know who I was talking to. She was so accomplished. Not only does she have a law degree, she has a business degree. She has an MBA. She's like overqualified for everything, right? But these are the kind of clients that I have because I bring the other side to the table. So, what is the other side if you're, let's say, an active professional person? What is the other side? Well, the other side could be self-care. Part of self-care is making sure that you get enough me time, family time. Okay, so you see this is 50%, right? And this is work, and this is life. This represents work-life balance. Okay, work-life balance. Now, when work gets stressful, okay, work is, things are piling up at work, right? Piling up at work. Pretty soon you start bringing work home. Now you're over the 50% line. Now it's more work, right? And we all spend more time working, right? But here's the thing, when it starts going like this, guess what? This personal space shrinks. This family time shrinks. Now what? Well, it's mostly work. Because now I've allowed work to go from here 50-50, and I'm pulling it over here. I'm bringing work home. This represents not having enough time. This represents bringing work home. This represents, overworking, all of that. Okay, what do you need to do? Okay, this represents I don't have time for the gym. When I was over here 50-50, I had time for the gym. I had time for me time. I had all this time. Now I let it go like this. And are you forced by your employer to do this? No. It's in your head. You think you have to do this. You think your life has to be like this. Okay, but it doesn't. So what do? Well, you catch yourself. Okay? You catch yourself when things are like this, 50-50, and it gets hectic and you're doing this, and you're leaving out your gym time, or you're leaving out your sewing time, or you're leaving out your family fun time. What do? You pull it back. Pull it back. Because it's just you feeling like you need to do that. It's you feeling you need to do more work. You need to catch up. No matter how much you catch up, there's always more work, right? Okay, so it's here. The prison is here. Okay, you need to be liberated from the prison here. This applies to everything. What about a bad marriage? What about a marriage where you feel like a hostage? Married the wrong woman, married the wrong man. Maybe you married the right man and you just let it go. Maybe you married the right woman, but you just gave up being the leader. And now she's leading you. And because you're lazy, you just follow. It's easy to be lazy, but there's a big price to pay. There's a big price to pay not being organized. There's a big price to pay when you're complacent, when you let things go. There's a big price to pay because up front it may not seem like a lot. But when you let it go, 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 now it's over here. Okay, now it's here. Now you have to bring it all the way back here. The correction is greater, like this. See, so you have to do like this. Now, if you go here and you go, oh, wait a minute. Okay, because now you're aware. So we're talking awareness. Now you're aware. Oh, yeah, I feel it tugging. I didn't go to the gym twice already this week. I feel it increasing. Okay, that's when you pull it back. That's when you go, no, I'm going to the gym. No, I'm gonna finish that paper. No, I'm going to finish reading that book. No, I'm going to my son's Little League game. Those things. Hey, Vanessa. Hey, Manuel, good morning. Hey, my friend Manuel from Belgium. Vanessa Cox. Hey, Vanessa. How you doing? Welcome. So work-life balance is very important. Because why? Because you only have so much time on earth. Okay? This is the 50% point. Now, if you get pulled over here, okay, what's going on? Too much work, not enough time. Not enough personal time. You were put on earth for balance. You were put on earth to enjoy. You weren't put on earth to suffer. Suffering is here. Okay, people suffer every day here because they can't change their thoughts. Here. The pen is mightier than the sword. The pen is always mightier than the sword. All day long, every day. I am so happy and grateful now that I am at ease. Thank you. Write it. Write it and you will start feeling it. It takes a little while. You have to be faithful. Okay, now, I say faithful. I don't say self-discipline because that sounds like a dirty word or a dirty term. Self-discipline. What does that mean? Well, that means I'm disciplining myself. Okay. Is it difficult to do? No. It's making the time for something. It's like, okay, I'm going to take 1 minute to make my affirmation. I'm going to write it for 1 minute. It's going to take me 1 minute. When I read it out loud tonight before I go to bed, it's going to take me less than a minute. And then when you do this in repetition over and over and over, pretty soon you start to feel it. Then you start to become it. It's the same thing as what we were talking about earlier about your environment. I worked in a very toxic work environment, very toxic. And I had to shield myself. You can learn how to survive in a toxic work environment. It doesn't matter if it's toxic or not. It doesn't matter what it is. You're the only thing that matters. If you have to deal with toxic people in your life, if you have to deal with a toxic work environment in your life, you just need to acquire the on-off switch. And that on-off switch is achieved through awareness, a heightened sense of awareness. Now, how do you do this? Well, in human beings, you do it through their voice. That's the fastest. And visuals, audio, visual, the fastest. So what does that mean? Well, go stand in front of the mirror. When's the last time you stood in front of the mirror and told yourself everything that you liked about yourself? When the last time you did that? Probably not, right? Kind of crazy, right? But you know what? Your subconscious responds to you more than anyone else. This image right here, okay? When you're in the mirror and you're looking at you and you're speaking something to you and you're looking in your eyes, saying it to you, it goes directly into your subconscious. The difference between this and delusion is delusion is something that's not there. Okay, so if you say, I'm so happy and grateful now that I am wealthy, your subconscious will give you small little suggestions, pathways to wealth. And you'll start to get thoughts. And your thoughts could be, well, maybe I should save money. Well, maybe I shouldn't buy junk. Maybe I should buy good food, and maybe I should cut down my budget on whatever, going out. And maybe with the money that I save, I can, invest it. Something like that. But those are the thoughts you're going to get. Then you're not gonna have $1 million in the bank tomorrow. That's not how it works. That's not how it works. It took until 2010 till I made my first million. 2010, that was a long time. But it took a lot of marketing. It took a lot of advertising. It took a lot of everything. It took a lot of time. It took a lot of energy. And every show that we did, we put our guts in the show. Okay. When we walked, every single time I walked off the stage, I was sweating. But I got this from Jerry Lewis. Jerry Lewis was a comedian. You can Google him, look him up. And one of his quotes were, if you're not sweating by the time you leave the stage, you haven't given the people their money's worth. And I always held that as a belief and as a principle. And I always worked hard in that way. Was it difficult, kind of hard? No, it wasn't. It was just exerting energy. When you exert energy, you're showing people that you care. When you exert energy or put energy into something, you're demonstrating to that person that you care, or that you're giving them their money's worth, or that you're acknowledging their presence, or that you're, giving them value. It's about value. If you start thinking about value, life changes. I'm here in the morning to give you value. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to give you value for your life. My clients pay to see me. I have clients. I'm going to go to work after this. I go to work all day till 5:30 with clients. All day long, my calendar is full. Almost full. I have about 3 breaks today. But I sit here in the morning because I'm at the stage of my life where I can sit and offer value. If this was 20 years ago, no, I would be out there slugging it out and working, long. I never worked hard. I don't consider what I do hard. But I work long, many hours. So you can have a choice. You can work hard or you can work long. Some people like to just bang it out and work hard and then 8 hours and they go home. I pull 16 hours sometimes. 16-hour days. Dr. Armand Hammer, you can look him up as well. At one point, he was a president of Arco Petroleum, and he was interviewed by Barbara Walters, and she was a reporter. And she interviewed him, and she said, "Do you consider yourself lucky?" And he said, "When you work 16 hours a day, 7 days a week, you're bound to get lucky." But this is how professionals work. Professionals work like this. So what's the key for professionals? What value do I give professionals? Well, I liberate them from the prison. I pull them out of prison. This is the prison right here. I don't have time for this. I got to do this. I got to do this. I got to rush this. Got to rush that. Got to do this. Do that. No, 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 no. Affirmations, meditation, vocalization, visualization. You need to do the meditation and prayer. Prayer is asking. Meditation is listening. You have to do both. It's not enough to pray. When you're praying and praying and praying and praying, you're asking. You're not listening. You're talking. You're talking. What happens when you're talking? Your subconscious is listening. But your subconscious works with the superconscious or consciousness or God. And your subconscious communicates with God. And it's all in here. It's all in here. The kingdom is within. It's in here. So what does that mean? That means when you install thoughts into your subconscious, okay, a belief is a thought you keep thinking. If you keep thinking a thought, it becomes a belief. Now that it's a belief, it forms your paradigm or the way you see things, the way you see the world, the way you see whatever it is you see. Now, human beings have multiple paradigms. We don't have just one paradigm. Okay, there's a way you behave with your spouse. There's a way you behave with your children. There's a way you behave with your employer. There's a way you behave with your aunties. You see, we have multiple paradigms. Humans are complex individuals, but it's a very high blessing to be a human this time. Next time you might not be lucky. You might be a cow, or you might be a lily pad, or a mosquito. But it's a blessing to be a human because you have this power. You are a co-creator with God. With God. That's your partner. God. God is your partner. Whatever you call that, however you believe, but that's your partner. If you acknowledge number one and number two, engage. Join. So you have to join. Okay, first you acknowledge, and then join. Now you're making magic. Okay, it's not black magic, it's not voodoo, it's not witchcraft, it's not any of that stuff. It would be nice if it would be kind of cool to make magic, right? Okay, let's hocus pocus and something pops up in the driveway. Oh, brand new car, or oh, brand new house. Now, I just wrote the affirmation, there's the house, and let's go in, It would be nice, that would be cool, but that's not how it works. But you can steer your ship with one of these. You can steer your own ship. I designed my whole life. The things that I know to be true, I think I know. Therefore, I know. Okay, so I think I know this. I think I know that. I think I know this other thing. And then your subconscious goes, okay, you think you know this? Then you need more information. How about this? How about this? How about that? How about that? Here's a thought for that. Here's a thought for this. All you need to do is ask yourself a question. Your brain, your subconscious is obligated to answer you. It's that simple. Ask yourself a question. How do I make $100 extra this month? Keep asking. Keep asking. You're going to get ideas. You're going to get intuitive thought. It's important that when you get intuitive thought, you start to trust it. We don't trust intuitive thought, right? We don't trust intuition. We go, nah, that's okay. We have free will. And because you have free will, you can just push it on the side. No need. Push it on the side. I don't want to do that. And you make a choice. Okay? And your choice determines your result. So whatever it is you choose, you're going to get results from those choices. And that's why you hear people say, make good choices. Right? So how do you make better choices? Discernment. How do you get discernment? Ask. Ask and you shall receive. So many times we think we know better. So many times we think, oh, okay, no, I'm just going to do it my way, you know. And then we hit that wall. And then when you hit the wall, what? You have to pivot. Pivot means you go over here now. Pivot means you go over there now. You hit the wall. Are you supposed to avoid hitting walls? No. No. We're here to learn. We're here to hit walls. We're here to try and try and try and try and hit wall. Okay, turn. That wasn't the one. Over here. Go over here now. Go over here, over here, over here. Hit the wall. Okay, now go back over here. And pretty soon you are divinely guided on your life path. Okay? For unto everyone that hath shall be given. Because the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. Why do they say that? Because the rich people know something. They know that if you think about the things that you want versus what you don't want, if you don't fear, if you don't doubt, if you know, like you know, like you know, you're going to accomplish something, you accomplish it. You get more. It doesn't have to do with the amount of money you have. It has to do with where your head is at, where your subconscious is at. Your subconscious will put you back to wherever it is that your beliefs are, if that makes any sense. Okay? It'll do that. Because why? Because you can do any action up here. The fruits of the tree are your actions. Okay? You can do any actions, random actions, and get a result. Random action, get a result. But if you're not in alignment with your paradigm and your core beliefs, guess what happens? You get that result, it's temporary. You get another result, it's temporary. You're doing random things right off the top of your head, you're getting random results. There's no focus. It's random. Now you can live a random life where you react to every little thing. You wait for things to happen and then you react to them. Okay, that's a reactionary life. Now you're just reacting to things, reacting. Or you can take charge of your life like this and you can write down what you want, what I'm going to do tomorrow. Tomorrow I will start my day at 7 a.m. I will go to the office. I will whatever, finish my paperwork. I will do whatever and design your life. Then I'll go to the beach in the afternoon. Then I'll have fun with my significant other. Then I will spend time with the children watching movies tonight. And then, whatever. But design your life. And that's what the affirmations are for. To design your life so that you have purpose. So that your life has a purpose. And so that you find your natural purpose, your natural life path. Only fear and doubt keep you off your natural life path. That's it. That's it. Fear is a thought. Doubt is you thinking you cannot. Doubt is you doubting yourself. Doubt and fear. And the reason why it keeps you off your life path is because when you get free, okay, when you free yourself from the prison, your life path begins to unfold naturally. You don't have to ask. It will just be. And you just be. And you will go about your day and you will go about your natural inclinations, okay, based upon your natural talents and your natural abilities. And you find something you love to do because then you can use those natural abilities because now it's easy for you. A lot of people have been tricked into doing a job because it makes money. Okay, that's a trick. That's a trick. You can make money with almost anything now with technology, almost anything. There's this guy, check it out. It's called I'llDrawYouACat.com. I heard that this guy was, making like $200,000 a year drawing cats. And so I wanted to see what the cats look like. So I went to the website. They're just stick figure cats. And he was selling them for $10 each. But he sold in volume. And he was making tons of money. Or what does he do every day? He draws stick figure cats. And people pay him $10 a cat. So, he's making money, okay? So don't be fooled into, oh, I have to be a doctor if I want to make money, or I have to be a lawyer if I want to make money. No, you can make money selling hot dogs. The trick is to make a little bit of money from a lot of people. And now with technology, with the web, with Facebook, with YouTube, with Instagram, with all of these platforms, it's easy. It's not like it's easier than before they came along. Now you got a lot of competition, you got a lot of people doing what they love. Okay. But isn't that easier than working for, I don't know, 50 years, 40 years at a job that you hate? And you hate the job, you hate doing what you do, you can't stand it, it's stressful, but oh yeah, it makes money so I can feed my family. You need to change your thinking. You need to change your thinking. So you can be stubborn and you can be fixated on your path. And God will work like a GPS, and God will go, okay, you want that path. Okay, now the GPS has to recalibrate. And then the doors start opening. The doors start opening to your new journey. A lot of CEOs, right? Women CEOs in particular, they get to be 40 years old, they get that energy surge, and then what? They quit their job and they go bake cookies. They go do what they want. That's how Mrs. Fields was born. Okay, they go do something like that. It catches on. It takes on a life of its own, and now they're doing what they love. Was it worth all the experience of being the CEO and all doing things that she hated just for money? Yeah, of course. There's benefits to everything. Okay, but just know you can do what you love and make it work. You can do what you love and make money. You can do what you love and support a family. You can do what you love. Don't torture yourself. Don't put yourself through something for money, because now you're worshiping money. You're making money your God. Money is not your God. Money is an energy. Okay? You ever see how some people hold credit cards, how they handle credit cards like this, like it were a sacred object, right? Don't do that. You don't have to do that. It's just a card. It's a plastic card. Here you go. Boom, done. Okay, but when you start like this, oh, here's your card. When you start like that, you're worshiping money. You don't know it, but you have this reverence for money. Money is good. Good things are good. Nothing wrong with good things. I'm part Latino. I love good things. I love nice things. Okay, so there's nothing wrong with that. I'm saying don't make the things your God. Don't make the things, or don't allow the things to control you. Very simple. But you can do anything. You can do anything you want and be successful at it. You just have to go all in. And it starts in your subconscious. Okay, affirmations, meditation, vocalization, visualization. My clients are all successful. My clients always get raises or promotions, or like all of these things happen. And it only happens because of the energy in here. So whether you call this a spirit, you call this energy, whatever you call that, when that gets energized in here, okay, where God is in here, the kingdom is in here, right? The kingdom is within. But when that happens from the inside, it expresses itself out into the world. And it engages with other energies that are similar. Like attracts like. And that's where you have that engagement. And now you have that power, because now you're co-creating. But most people are led to believe that life is not like that. You have to suffer. You have to, you have to be poor. So remember, when you hear quotes like this, for unto everyone that hath shall be given, and he shall have abundance, but from him that hath not shall be taken away even that which he hath. Like he's going to lose everything. Why? Because his subconscious. because he has the wrong attitude, because his subconscious is conditioned for loss, it's conditioned for lack, it's conditioned for desolation. What do you have to do? You have to recondition it. Recondition it. Into what? Into abundance, into love, into agreement, right? Into collaboration, all of these things. And then you will be wealthy. Very, very easy to do. It's a mindset. Wealth is a mindset. Okay, so we want to say thank you, Love and Light. Thank you, Love and Light. Manuel, Karen, Jay, thank you for moderating. And this is the end of our international feed. So we'll see you guys tomorrow at 7 a.m. Hawaii time. So wherever you are, it's an hour back.